Welcome every single person to another brand new episode, exciting episode, because in today's episode, we're going to be talking about 6 easy money habits that you can potentially start at any point in time, regardless of the age that you're currently in. So whether you are currently a teenager, a young adult in your 30s, 40s, 50s, up to retirement, you can follow these easy habits because they will be life-changing. So with that being said, let's just get started on the spot. But as always, if you guys enjoy videos like this, feel free to leave a comment at any time, subscribe, hit the bell for similar videos, and let's get started. So the first financial money habit that is very life-changing that I think every single person should look into is going to be to track all of your expenses. This is something that you can easily do if you have a computer or a piece of paper, but especially if you have a computer, which most people do. If anything, you might even be watching this on a computer right now, or you can even use your smartphone. Take out an Excel document or a Word doc and literally just write down everything that you buy, especially any kind of big purchase that you make, because this is going to be relatively life-changing, because as you keep track of your expenses, you'll also be able to see what you can potentially cut, so that this is going to help you potentially save money down the line. While this might be necessarily somewhat common sense for some people, I think it's something that not a lot of people I see practice. A lot of people still just spend money, but they don't really keep track of the money they spend, and the next thing they know, they spend a lot more money than they really think. I did make a video talking about several ways how you can save up to $10,000 in a single year. So if you want to watch that, definitely watch through for that one. I'm going to put a link to that at the very end screen. Literally, it's called How to Save $10,000 in a Single Year. And you can watch that, which gives you tips about how it potentially works, and especially the breakdown and the math that you have to calculate in order to reach your goal of saving $10,000 every single year, or potentially even more than that if you have more money to spare on the conservative end, $10,000. But the next financial money habit to really be able to get out there is going to be, when it comes to buying things and shopping, to wait for a sale. Now this one definitely needs an explanation, so definitely hear through for this, is that because there are some things in life that are actually worth spending more money on. So things such as like quality clothing, not designer clothes, not branded clothes, but simply put, quality clothing, quality items. There are things that actually are worth it to spend more money on. But for a lot of the things that we buy, there's a lot of ways that you can get things for a lot cheaper by simply waiting for a sale, buying things used, or anything in that line. If you end up following these particular habits, always trying to find coupons, always trying to find sales, especially if it's on something that you were already going to buy anyway. So what this really means, and that's why I say you need to kind of hear it out, is that this does not necessarily mean that you are buying something just because it's on sale, because obviously, there might be things that you buy that you don't even need per se, but you just buy it anyway because it's on sale. But what it is to say is that if there's something that you are already going to buy regardless of whether it was on sale, you might as well wait for a sale, assuming that it's something that you don't urgently need at this particular time. So that's just something to really also get out there. Now, the third money habit to really be able to share out there that's really easy to follow is going to be to, simply put, have a mindset where you are always learning. Always kind of trying to consume information, whether this is learning from people you talk to on a regular basis, learning from books, learning from computers, learning from your smartphone, learning just from your life experience, everything in that particular world. That's something that's very potentially life-changing. Now, if you're wondering what is the best thing to physically learn, I would probably say is, first off, is just anything that you're curious about. But also another big thing you can do is to advance in your career path. That's why this is also a money habit, not just a habit in general, but also physically a money habit, is look at your potential dream job and just go over the job description for it, and then think about the skills in your dream job that you currently do not have. Because whatever skills you see that you don't have, those are the skills that you have to be spending your time learning. Those are the skills that you have to be spending your time practicing, so that one day you hopefully can have those skills, and that's what's going to help you progress in your career path, and ultimately at the very end increase your odds that you're going to make more money. And I think that's something that we all care about, and why also, again, going back, it's a money habit and not just a general habit in general. That's going to help you potentially raise up more for the future down the line sometime. Now, the fourth money habit to really be able to share out there is to make it a habit of always trying to allocate a certain amount of money to contribute to your retirement accounts. I know there are some people that are watching this that might be young and thinking that, oh, retirement is very, very far away, and that's technically true, but time flies by very, very quickly, especially once you get older. I can say for certain is that the last 5 years have definitely flown by a lot faster than the 5 years of my teenage life. So the idea really is that, because knowing that, always contribute. Now, right now at this current time, I believe the maximum contribution for your Roth IRA, which hopefully every single person here has a Roth IRA. If you don't, definitely make a Roth IRA. You can make it on Vanguard. I think I have a very old video where I show people how to actually open a Roth IRA, and that's actually from me physically opening a Roth IRA. So definitely check that video. It'll be at the end screen if you don't have a Roth IRA. But if you do have a Roth IRA, I believe the maximum contribution right now to a Roth IRA is about $6,500 per year. And when you take $6,500 and you divide that by 12, it comes out to be, and I'll quickly do the math, 6,500 divided by 12, it comes out to be about $542 per month. So your goal really should be to contribute about $542 per month to your Roth IRA, or you can do it as a lump sum if you have enough money. Again, going back is that there is a video I made talking about how you can save $10,000 every single year. So if you wanted, you could take $6,500 of that $10,000 and contribute that to your retirement account and still have over $3,000, specifically $3,500 for your own pleasure spending, or whatever you find important to spend, your emergency fund or anything in that world. Whatever you want, whatever your heart desires, you now have that money to be able to spend. And that's really the big thing behind it. And then the next thing to really be able to share in terms of a money habit to really be able to have is to try to buy things, especially if you're trying to make any big purchase, try to purchase it in cash. Avoid taking out a loan if possible. There are obviously limitations to that, like for example, things such as like housing, you might have to take out a loan for, college tuition, you might have to take out a loan for. But for things, especially things that are like relatively expensive, but not overly expensive to the point that you can't raise up a reasonable amount of money to buy. So examples of this would be things such as like a car. That's probably the most perfect example. Most people, although a car can be relatively expensive, on an entry-level basis, most people can still save up enough money to be able to afford a car and pay for it in its entirety without having to take out a loan, so you can save yourself the interest rates and everything in that world. Another perfect example is credit card bills. Try to buy things with credit cards because you can get points for it, but pay off your credit card bill and never rely on your credit card to be able to buy something. And basically the idea really is to use your credit card, but also be able to make sure you always have enough money to cover the cost of your credit card, so you don't have to accrue any, is that the right word? Or accumulate any kind of interest amount of payments so that you can keep things as cheap as possible. The bottom line is just to pay by cash, because some things you might not be able to do so, such as like, again, housing and college tuition, but at the end of the day, those things also happen to be appreciating assets. But things like cars, credit cards, those are depreciating assets, meaning that they actually decrease in value. So that's the kind of expense and asset, or a type of loan you want to avoid. There is good debt, there is bad debt. You kind of have to understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. Try to, it's okay to take on the good debt, but avoid the bad debt if possible, and that's going to help you set yourself up for whatever you hope to do financially into the future. And then potentially the last thing to really be able to share in terms of the money habits to be able to really adopt regardless of your age is going to be to find joy in free stuff. And this one is really, really interesting, because especially true if you live in a major city with a lot of resources, there's a lot of things that I find in general, and maybe this is because I live a very frugal lifestyle, but there's a lot of things that I feel, and this is not just about finances in general, but this is also about just practicing affirmations and gratitude. It's that there's a lot of ways that you can experience joy, good things, fun activities, stuff like that, for sometimes little to even no money. So you don't have to necessarily take extravagant vacations, dine at fine dining restaurants or anything like that. A lot of times, if you can find joy and pleasure in simple things, simple living, frugal lifestyles, you can actually do a lot of things and still enjoy life on a free budget. Examples of this, if you live especially in a major city, libraries are free, you can borrow things for free, entertainment can be free. You know, there's a lot of cities that do free showings, weather, activities, outdoor stuff. A lot of this stuff is just free entertainment that you can take advantage of. Education, the internet, obviously you do have to pay for your internet bill, but if you were already going to pay for your internet, there's free education there, free resources, yeah, a lot of things are just free, basically, the idea, when you really think deep about it. And there's things that you just cannot pay for with money. So these are just really just several financial money habits that I really wanted to share in today's video. So with that being said, that's really what I wanted to share in today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that, as always, remember to smash the like button, consider commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay well, stay frugal, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.